Hey, viewers and viewers, my name is General Red Strategist, and welcome back to So You're Being Hunted. The Toy Train Challenge continues. Phil's joining me. How you doing? There he is. Yes. Chugging along, as always, there in the background. Speaking of which, I have 2 toy trains at the moment, Phil.
Toy Train Challenge, yes, an interesting little distraction challenge. And it's good to be back. We haven't done a So You're Being Hunted episode in quite a while.
We haven't.
I'm just thinking, what was the last one that we did together? What was it about? Was it the All Things Horror?
It might
or
be
did
that
we have
one
after that? God, because that was a while ago. If it was that one,
the last one I can think of was the best and worst of games, but that was a while ago, so I don't know.
No, I
if
think that
that's...
was before the All Things Horror.
Yeah. Okay, it might be.
Yeah, it might
could
be
be the
that
All Things
one.
Horror
Wow.
then. It was a while back, Kay. But how you doing your end there, Phil?
I'm
Life
good,
treating you
mate. Yeah, not too bad. I'm quite well. Are you doing all right?
Yes.
This
Crisis.
crisis.
Yeah. Oh God, that's a fucking rider. But he's
right,
straight
let's
for
call
me.
it to halt your dream.
Shit. Okay, we've reached that stage of the game now where the real tough enemies are spawning. It appears.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
Indeed.
Well, that was a
yes,
nasty
what were you gonna
surprise.
say then?
No, I was just going to say, the thing is, as when we record this, it's winding down now to Easter. Work is starting to ease up a bit in terms of
Easter,
the busyness.
aye.
Yeah, just to date the video. But then again, this will only be going out a week or two probably after we've recorded it, so not that long.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. Easter time is a good time. It's also the time where you get a 4-day weekend.
Yeah, yes.
So get Good Friday off and Easter Monday.
And big chocolate eggs to stuff in your face.
Yes, and of course that's the famous thing, chocolate eggs.
Yeah.
You can't be a nice good chocolate egg. That's what it's all about.
It's
not all about that. It's about the religious Jesus resurrected.
The Jesus, yes. Rolling the tombstone aside and all that.
Now then, the reason I brought So You're Being Hunted into our today's recording session is because, as always, So You're Being Hunted, the prime time for topics of discussion. That is what it's all about, and that is what we do. Yes,
Indeed.
because you've done 564,000 episodes, and got to have something to get through that time, because there's only so many challenges you can think of and do.
Indeed. So Phil rang me up a few days ago and was like, "Hey Andrew, in the next recording session we have, can we put Sir in?" He was like that, and I said, "Well, Phil, I shall grant your request."
And you were like, "Request granted."
Yes.
Like a genie.
Freaking robots.
Yes. So, watch out! The balloon's coming. Balloon's coming.
There's robots coming as well.
Balloon. Hot air balloon, as always. There it is.
Oh, dear.
Now the robots are hunting you.
Yeah.
Because that's the main aim of the game.
Oh, Gunter. I need to get to the fucking standing stones, but there's robots everywhere. Shit.
Oh, run as fast as the gingerbread man can.
The gingerbread man,
There you go.
Okay, we're nearly there. It's just through here.
Okay.
Oh, God.
So, anyway.
Go ahead then, Phil. Your topic of conversation that
so the topic,
before the robots so rudely interrupted us.
Yeah, before they annihilate you and murderlise you and all sorts of marmalade thrown on top of you. Marmalade.
Nice.
Marmalade. The nice spread. But yes, the topic I've chosen for today is an interesting one. We've done all sorts of one. This is school trips.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah. School trips.
School tripsiones. So, what sort of ones can we remember back?
Absolutely, and viewers as well. Can you remember when you're in school? If you're still in school, what school trips or days out have you been on and taken part in? Because that was an interesting time in school when you go on school trips.
Indeed.
Or go to various places. There would be the default ones where you might go out to like a factory for a day or something like that to see something. Then there'll be the ones where you go and spend a couple of days or a week over in a different country. Those are various different school trips out, and it was interesting because it was a bit of a difference, a bit of a change of pace than being in school all the time.
Yes,
and taking part in these adventures.
Yeah.
So let's start with you then, Andrew. So first of all, let's do the sort of school trips that are not going to a different country, like like going to a factory for a day, or you've gone to see something for a day.
So,
any of those that you had? Yeah.
I remember. This is going back now to like primary school, so way back to when I was very, very young. We always used to see school trips done to Myasco Farm near Billsborough.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember that vaguely as well.
Myerscough, yeah. I remember Myerscough.
Yeah, so we would go there, and it was like, they had obviously like the big gardens and things that you'd wander around. But it feels like, that's one of the few things that I sort of remember school trip-wise from primary school. I can't really remember. Actually, no, that's a lie. I was about to say I can't really remember anywhere else, but actually, no, I do. It's just jogged my memory a bit now. And I remember at one point,
secondary school.
Yeah, this was again primary school level. I think this was. When you're studying the Romans, and they take you to Ribchester, to the old sort of Roman ruins up there.
Yes,
yeah. So I can vaguely remember that, and I can remember like going to the museum. They had like the mock Roman helmet and things like that, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, that was one I remember actually very vaguely. I can sort of remember kind of wandering down the little streets and seeing like the foundation ruins of where there were once things like Roman villas or whatever. So yeah, I remember that one. So between that and Myerscough Farm, I'm just thinking, were there any others that I recall? Yes.
Well, one little one that you can think of, which would be thought of as a trip, is because I know we did them a lot. Was when you used to go to a swimming pool.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, but there were some moments where I remember that as well, where you used to go to a swimming bath somewhere, and they like to. I think it was mostly with regards to. For PE, they'd like to take us to a swimming baths.
I don't know. I don't really count those as being like proper sort of school trips, just because I know school trips for me were like the things where you're proper going quite far out. Whereas obviously with my kind of primary school, we just went to the local sort of pool, and it wasn't like a particularly special pool. It was just a very basic.
Very basic pool, yeah.
It was. Nothing particularly special about it. You just did lengths and whatever else you could. Did lengths,
you got changed, and they'd be like line you up, and you had to start doing stuff.
Line you up outside the little shower just before you go in, and all that. But yes.
And you always have those. You'd always have those floats as well.
Yeah.
Do you remember the floats? The little
floats.
Yeah, they were intriguing to try and help you swim like that.
Well, you get like the big long noodle floats, tube floats.
Oh, the noodle floats, oh God, I remember those. We used to have those a lot when we actually went on holiday.
Yeah.
We'd take those and have play with them because they were fun.
They were, weren't they? Yeah. But that's just what I remember. I was just about to say, actually, I do remember vaguely another primary school trip where we went to the Lake District, and I remember I can't remember exactly whereabouts, but what I do remember from it is we had at one point like a ride on like an old heritage steam locomotive line, and then after that we went on like an actual boat on the lake. When I say boat, more like an actual what would you call it? Like one of those lake sort of cruiser
paddle
things.
Steamers, maybe like
steamer, paddle steamer, cruiser, whatever you want to call it. But you just sit on the kind of top deck, watching as the water rolls by and all that.
I mean the Lake District is a very nice place.
Oh yeah, it's very good.
Very good part of the country as well.
I'm just going to jump cut here as we get across to the next island. So in a second, everybody. We're back here. Okay. So, continuing with the topic of conversation, actually, as we get onto this final island.
School
trips and all that. So that's, all I can
I'm going to extend that. When I say school trips as well, not just school, but college or university trips we'll put in there as well. Because I did have a few, which I'll talk about with regards to university. Yeah. So, we'll include it to the whole norm. So, primary, secondary school, college, and university.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, actually. Yeah. So, that's what I just kind of talked about, really, is what I remember from primary school. And so moving on to kind of secondary now, into high school, I can remember a couple of things from high school. I remember there was one, again, I think it was as part of a geography.
Geography,
something like
geography
that.
Did a few.
In fact, actually, no, a couple of ones we did with geography where we went to the Lake District. There was one where we went to Bowness, and there was another one where we went to a farm. I can't remember what the name of the farm was, though.
Just walked into a farm, not like, hello, you're right, farmer, can you show us how to drive tractor?
Yeah, I remember that one at the farm where, we were all wrapped up quite warm, because obviously it was quite cold weather, and
or you could have gone into a combine harvest and go, I've got a brand new combine harvester, and I'll give you the key.
Oh jeez, sing that song. But yeah, so we went to this farm, and I remember like the geography teacher at the time had like his soil auger, and he was taking like a soil sample and things like that. And it was like really interesting, but yeah, like walking over the fells and things like that. But you know, it's good when you've got the Lake District right on your doorstep, isn't it?
I love the Lake District.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Were there any other standout ones from high school? I remember going to Camelot with high school once. The theme park that I think is now shut down.
That's it. Why did that's very non-educational for a school to take you to Camelot.
Indeed, I think they just wanted something, you know, just as a treat, maybe.
As a treat. Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
indeed.
Camelot has closed down. For those who don't know, it is an amusement park that was. But it unfortunately, obviously wasn't doing well in its sales because they had to close down.
Closed down several years ago now, I think.
Oh yeah,
so it's not a recent thing when it shut down. But yeah, I remember that, and I'm trying to think, what other high school trips do I recall? I can't really think of any off the top of my head from high school. I think the really interesting stuff though gets to when I got to college and beyond. That's when I got the really interesting trips. Because in sixth form, that was the first time that I'd had the opportunity to go on trips abroad with education.
Yeah, that's where it gets fun.
Because my high school didn't do trips abroad, anything like that. So when I went to my sixth form, the first one I went to was with modern history. We went to Berlin and then took a coach a couple of days. We did a couple of nights in Berlin and then a coach across to Krakow in Poland. Another few nights, and that was the one where we obviously went to Auschwitz. It was obviously a lot of basically what we were looking at there was connected to the Second World War history, things like that.
Yeah, it's quite educational.
Yeah. So we did that in my first year of A-level for modern history, and then in the second year, again same course, modern history. We went to Russia. We went to spend a couple of nights in Moscow. A couple of nights in St. Petersburg, and we took like the sleeper train between the two of them, which was a very interesting experience. Very different country to any of the ones I'd been to before in my life, so it was quite fascinating.
I thought for a minute that said train mode, satanic.
Satanic.
I was thinking, what the heck? When did it become an evil devil?
Yeah. Nope. It's Satan's Express, Phil. The Devil's Express and all that.
So in these moments when you're in the Berlin and the over to Krakow and Russia, what sort of food did you get given? Because for us sometimes we got absolute wank.
Yeah.
When they gave us stuff.
The food actually wasn't too bad.
When I come to me.
It's kind of nice. I remember actually one time while we were in Berlin, we went to Lake Wannsee to go and see the Wannsee Villa where the final solution was decided upon.
Jeez.
Yeah, and because we had like our lunch whilst we were there, I remember getting a German bratwurst from like a little kiosk van. And it was nice. It was good stuff. And in Russia we actually got to sample like proper borscht and stuff like that.
Oh yes.
Cuisine.
Yeah.
It's
good when you get to try the local cuisine. Yeah. I don't like those people that travel. They go to like Russia and Germany, and then they go for their lunch or for their tea and go to McDonald's. Like, what are you doing? Come on now.
I must confess, when we were on the coach, this was in the Berlin Krakow trip. We did stop off after we'd crossed over the border into Poland.
Right.
We did stop off at this what was essentially it's like a retail park or something, out of town retail park in Poland, just for our lunch, and a bunch of us did just basically go to the Polish Pizza Hut that was there. But it was just because it was easy. That's all. We were hungry. We didn't really care about what we were eating as long as we just ate something. But yeah, it was good. It was good times. So really, really enjoyable stuff.
Really enjoyable stuff.
Bandages. I've got so many of them.
What did you actually do in? What were you actually doing in Russia? What was the? Was that a history trip?
Yeah, there was a history trip, and in particular, what we were looking at there was the the history to do with things like the Russian Revolution of 1917, and to do with like Stalin's reign in the 1930s. So it was really interesting stuff. We saw some incredible sights. We went to like Lenin's mausoleum, for example, outside the walls of the Kremlin, where his body's literally just there on public display. You can walk past it and see it. Yeah. It's a funny thing that, because it's like when you go in there, the rule basically is you can't start walking. You can walk as slowly as you want, but you're not actually allowed to stop and just look at it. You have to like just keep moving.
Why is that then?
I don't know. I think it's because they get like big queues for it, so they just have to keep people moving.
I thought it was just out of respect. You're not allowed to.
So you obviously you can like look at the body, but you just have to keep walking along as you're doing it. Because mainly because of the long queues and things like that, as I said. But it's quite weird. It was actually because it's like you go in there and the lighting inside is actually just before you get to the body. The actual corridor lighting is quite dim, and like it's like these. I guess basically they're what you call like Preobrazhensky regiment, basically Russian army guys who just like, I guess, are just like supervising the area. So you like they're like stood in the corners, just like eyeballing you as you go through.
Watching you, making sure you don't do anything wrong.
Yeah, things like that. But so I have also been into the grounds of the Kremlin and seen some of like the Orthodox churches and things like that. One thing that I regret never doing,
so you went into Red Square.
Yeah, Red Square. One thing I regret not doing whilst I was there in Russia, which apparently I could have actually done because it is actually open. You can just go in. It's actually going to St. Basil's, the cathedral on Red Square. I never went in there, and I should have done.
Oh, did you not? You should have made use of that. Yeah, some things you, in hindsight, eh?
Yeah. Well, it's unfortunate, but still saw a lot of very fascinating and interesting things. And, St. Petersburg was interesting as well. Sorry, my voice went a bit then. We went to the Hermitage Museum in the old Winter Palace. We went to the village of Pushkin, which is where the old Russian Tsars used to have like big like summer villas, and we went into one of those. It was fascinating, and we went to like the Peter and Paul Fortress, stuff like that, where Leon Trotsky was at one time imprisoned. So there's a lot of history. It was fascinating. But yeah, that was sixth form, and then once I got to university level, when I was a master's student, we went to Geneva as part of our little sort of group of master's students on the course I was on, and we went to visit the UN office at Geneva and other international organisations. So we got like we went to the WTO and had a talk from someone there. Then we went to International Committee of the Red Cross and had a talk from them. We went to Green Cross International, had a talk from them, which was really, really fascinating. Geneva's a quite lovely city to go to. So
it is, isn't it? It's a nice area.
Yeah, it's funny because Geneva's kind of like a city of two halves in many ways. So you've got like the more historical quarters where the streets can be a bit more sort of higgledy-piggledy, but then you get into the more like modern areas across on the sort of round, because obviously it's on the edge of Lake Geneva, and as you go around the edge of the lake, you get to the more modern area where it's much more laid down like a more kind of American style grid system, the streets, that is. So yeah, it's actually quite an easy city to sort of find your way around in. At least I thought it struck me as being that kind of city, because even if you're in the more old quarter area where the streets aren't kind of laid out in so much of an obvious order, it's one of those cities where there's a lot of really old architecture, so you can like identify landmarks and get a sense of where you are, things like that.
Now, since you're in Switzerland, obviously Swiss are famous for their chocolate. Did you get any of the chocolate?
Oh yes, we tried a traditional Swiss fondue as well. Cheese and white wine. Yeah.
Oh yes, of course. Yes, they do. They'd like the fondue.
Yes, that was quite nice. It was good stuff. So yeah, that was my university trip I did while I was at university as a part of my master's course. So that was pretty good, and I really enjoyed that. But that's me. With
that's the Switzerland is also the home of Nestle.
Oh yeah.
You know that it's in what's the place? What's the place where the Nestle headquarters are? Vevey in Switzerland. That's it.
Yeah.
That's where their main headquarters are.
Indeed.
So that was the last trip, basically, was it for you?
Yes. I don't. Well, I was going to say maybe as part of my PhD, but then again, I wouldn't really say that's a like trip so much as actual like academic kind of work, going down to like Portsmouth in the UK to do like presentations at conferences, things like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you really count that as a trip. It's more of actually like a professional thing
or work thing.
Yeah. But that was
still
fun
very
when enjoyable.
Do trips.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun when they do when school trips are done.
Yeah.
Because it allows you to see various different parts, and it's a good little concept for teachers to do things like that.
Yeah. So what about you, Phil? What sort of trips do you remember from your primary, secondary, sixth form or university days?
I'm struggling with primary. I will admit that straight away.
I imagine,
am struggling.
Yeah, but primary, it might be some of the similar stuff to me, since we
were in the same primary school. Yeah. I'm just trying to remember if there was anything in primary school. Oh God, I can't really remember. But if I go to secondary school, there was a few things.
Yeah.
So one of the ones we did with a geography trip is we went to Grizedale Forest, which is up there in the Lake District as well. Grizedale Forest, a very nice area, and we did orienteering.
Oh right, yeah.
There through Grizedale Forest. So basically,
that's you lucky devil, actually getting to do orienteering out in the countryside. Because the only time my high school, I've probably mentioned this before, did orienteering was in year 7, and we didn't go into the country. We just did this silly little exercise on the tennis court.
You did that. You explained that in a Sir episode before. Yeah. So we went to Grizedale Forest, and there's inside there's like markers, and we got given like paper with the map to try and work out where it was we're going. It's full of these markers through the forest.
Indeed.
And they have their own. It's not just a thing that our school made up. There is actually a little visitor centre there where you go and actually do the orienteering.
Nice.
So we went and did it in groups. I think we're in a group of 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And we actually won.
Nice.
We were the ones who managed to get all the way to the finish line first.
Yeah.
And so our geography teacher gave us a prize. You know what that prize was?
What?
A fucking stupid ruler. That was the prize. A
what
ruler.
A fucking anticlimax.
A ruler with Grizedale Forest on it. Yeah. It's a little shitty thing that we probably got from the gift shop.
Yeah. Probably.
But it was fun. There were things, as well as doing that, there were things like on this paper, like draw a river as well. It wanted us to do while we were going through. But it was really fun going through the forest and trying to find out where these markers were. And we did have an enjoyable time. So that was Grizedale Forest. That was a day out.
Indeed.
We had to wear the correct gear, wet weather gear, and all that.
Yeah.
They're like, they always say that. They go, make sure that when you get home, you ask your parents for the right stuff.
Yeah. Indeed.
Which was fun. So yeah, we had an interesting time with Grizedale Forest. And we like you did a few trips to the Lake District. As well, which is always fun. Going up to the Lake District and there. You see, my college. I'm just trying to think of anything else when I was in secondary school apart from the Grizedale Forest trip. History. Yeah. No, that's abroad. I'm thinking of the not the abroad trips first.
Yeah.
Because we went to college. My college was in the same sort of area because my secondary school was a secondary school and sixth form.
Yeah.
So it was a dual secondary school and sixth form. So I'm trying to think, where else did we go around the country? Oh God, my brain's just going. I really can't think. I know. I just can't think of the stuff that we went to around England.
I just got savaged by a dog. I used up my last train.
The dog's got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very annoying.
Oh God,
the landowner's coming. And you've leaved it.
Oh God, I am. Yeah.
Yeah, just that. Good job. If I just, I'll just move on to abroad stuff.
Yeah.
I'm struggling a bit here. So with regards to abroad stuff, mostly we did quite a bit in secondary school. So we went to Berlin.
Yeah.
Like it sounds, but I never went to Auschwitz.
Yeah.
Never did that. Well, weird because
that's over in Poland. So yeah.
No, yeah. But we obviously I did history and things like that, but I never got the chance to go and see Auschwitz.
Well, you know, because obviously me and you are potentially thinking about taking a trip abroad at some point. Never know. We might go like somewhere like Krakow and that would entail being able to head on over if you wanted to go and actually see that sort of site for yourself. So
yeah, I definitely want to go to Germany.
Yeah,
but we can go over to that sort of area maybe and see that. We'll just have to see when it comes to our plan. But yeah, I've been to Berlin and that was nice. Went to have a good trip around there. We got to see the various things: Brandenburg Gate, the Reichstag, of course, the famous seat of power.
Reichstag, yes.
I think it was at the time it was still Angela Merkel. She's been there a
long time. She has. Yeah.
She's done really well. Good chancellor as well.
Yeah.
But yes, I went to Berlin and we went there. We saw the football stadiums because we were near there. I've also been to Paris.
Oh yeah.
As well.
Sorry, I was just going to go again, just to go back to the centre, because this is the final island, so we might as well actually try and complete this challenge in this episode if we can.
Okay.
Since I've got the final 3 device pieces. So 1 second, all. Sorry to interrupt you there, but yeah. Okay, we're back in.
Oh my God, I'm back.
There he is. He's back.
So I've been to Paris.
Yeah.
So it's Paris. Went to obviously the Eiffel Tower, Notre Dame, and everything. And the funny thing was, we went to the Place de la Concorde, which is full of expensive shops.
Oh yeah.
It's got like Louis Vuitton and everything. And we went in and we went into the Louis Vuitton shop, and they were like, they were taking our phones out, like no photography.
Yeah.
And all that. And the funny thing was in that Louis Vuitton shop, the cheapest thing was a handbag at £2,000. Or 2,000 should I say?
Goof.
Yeah.
God, who paid that much money for a handbag? Good Lord. I mean, people can do what they want with their money, but still, that doesn't stop me taking a sharp inhale at the sound of that. But
that was the cheapest thing.
Yeah.
As well as that, this was the famous one, which I have explained before, where the hostel that we were spending the night was actually opposite a mental asylum.
Oh God!
So you could hear it banging against the bars and everything.
What a nice memory that will be.
Paris wasn't lovely, but it was very, very cold, and they also treated us as well, like they did with you with Camelot. We went to Disneyland Paris.
Oh, wow!
Yeah, we did go to Disneyland Paris.
Oh, damn!
We were excited about that day.
Yeah, imagine you were.
We stood in the queues because there were quite a bit of queues, but it was freezing. Because we went in about February time, absolutely freezing. I was standing in the queues and trying to get onto the rides.
Yeah.
Oh, it was cold.
I imagine it was.
So Paris was one. We also, for a history trip, went to Ypres over in Belgium.
Yeah.
Yes, took the bus down to Dover and went over to France and then over to Ypres in Belgium. Went to see the graves of World War One.
We took the bus to Dover and then we went on over. There we go.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Seeing the grave, and we got some Belgian chocolate as well, which of course is very fancy, nice chocolate.
You can't go to Belgium without getting the chocolate, Phil.
Oh, you can't.
Yes.
And it was a really good trip. So that's what I did at college. At university. With regards to university, obviously I went to Germany.
Yes, you did.
But we went on a trip out in Germany as well, to Lake Constance.
Oh right, yeah.
Which is a very nice lake and a very nice area it was. And we got ice creams and things, and the teachers were all there keeping us in check.
Yeah.
That's what they did, weren't they? The teacher always there keeping you in check.
Always at all times.
Well, the one when we went to Ypres, we got shit stuff for lunch. We couldn't get our own lunch like you could. They basically gave us a bag.
Yeah.
That gave us a little tiny roll with a bit of ham in it, an apple, and a drink of Pepsi.
Wow.
That's it. That's all we got for lunch. But on the other trips, we got to go and choose our lunch. We got to go and buy, go and get some stuff like the currywurst and all that.
So how old would you have been again when you were in Ypres? So
Ypres was secondary school, so I was about 13, 14.
Huh.
That sort of.
I would have thought maybe, I don't know, they would give you a bit more freedom, like if you had kind of your own cash or whatever, just maybe to go into a cafe and get something.
Yeah,
but
I would think. No, and we had set meals in the evening.
Yeah.
We'd go into the little restaurant. But the most annoying part was that long trip all the way down to Dover.
Oh, yeah.
Dover's a hell of a way.
It is a heck of a way.
The coach over on the ferries, of course, we get to go to Calais.
Yeah.
And that was a big old trip.
Indeed.
That was a big old trip. But that was the one of the best parts of university was going over to live in Germany for 4 months.
Yeah.
Getting up to grips with the language and just being in the culture. And that was when I was April to July. So it was nice and warm, nice and toasty weather.
Indeed.
Hot it was. It was very hot.
Oh yeah, it will be.
Like Spain, that's very hot as well. It's funny school trip, though.
Yeah, being hot. When I went over to Berlin, that was obviously in the summer and it was quite warm. So yeah,
it does get quite warm. They are fun. It's good that they have these ideas of doing school trips. So hopefully they still do them nowadays.
Yeah.
So you can get to experience these countries. And obviously, we had to be up to get over to the long trip Dover. We had to be at the school ready at 5 a.m.
Oh yeah. I remember, our Russia trip in sixth form. Yeah, we had to be outside the sixth form at like 3 a.m. in the morning to get down to the airport. It was quite something.
Yeah. How old were you then?
I would have been probably about 18. So not young. But yeah, indeed.
I remember you got that Russian sort of hat, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I got quite a few souvenirs actually from Russia. I bought a couple of proper Russian dolls as well. One from my sister.
Oh god, the Russian dolls!
And one from one of my younger cousins. They liked them. It's pretty good.
That's nice for you. Yeah.
Indeed, yeah. It was pretty good. Yeah, I always remember.
School trips are good times. Yeah, it's good to give you that extra benefit of exploring and doing other stuff rather than just being in school all the time.
Yeah.
To go and visit these various places around the world.
Yeah, I was just about to say, in reference to those Russian dolls, I can still remember where I got them from. It was on the little tourist stall on Sparrow Hill outside the University of Moscow. And it's funny because you've never seen so many Russian dolls of different designs, Phil, until you've been there. Absolute motherfucking ton of them. And some of them, let's say, a bit politically incorrect as well. Some of them. I remember there was one.
Were they?
Yeah, there was one I remember. It was a Russian doll of Michael Jackson, and it was like the outermost one is him later in life, but then as you go through, it gets to him when he was younger, and so of course the last one is when he was a kid, and so it's like, of course, the outermost one is white, but the innermost one is black. So it's like,
oh dear, no,
yes,
that's
maybe just a bit politically incorrect. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, I just think, wow. But
there was actually one school trip that I didn't join because it was quite expensive. Was they were planning to go skiing.
Oh right, yeah.
But it was very expensive. So I think it was like 400 quid or so.
Yeah.
So we all had to put together for it. That was a fair bit. So I didn't go on that trip.
Yeah. Any final trips you want to talk about before I deposit this final device piece?
I think that's it, really. I think that's mostly all the trips we did.
Okay.
The one, yeah.
Depositing and completing the challenge. Boom!
Sir, you've done it.
Sir, I have to say, well...
I'm bringing the device up to speed now.
Walters can back up.
I hope you won't consider this impertinent, sir.
See that dog?
But I'm amazed.
That's where my player character was sat a moment ago, and there's a guy shooting with a gun.
We'll have you out of there.
Well, obviously it's going to be attracting the attention, isn't it?
I was thinking, can they actually kill you while this is in progress?
No. Well, I think you teleported out.
Yeah. I guess they can't. I was just for a second worried then that it was going to be one of those moments where sometimes you get in games where you trigger the end point, but then it's like at the last moment you suddenly die whilst the end cinematic is in, and then suddenly it's like game over. It's like,
right, what are you doing? Yeah.
Well, there we go. Toy Train Challenge, ladies and gentlemen. We've completed it. So, next episode, either I'll be doing a podcast style one or maybe a new challenge, depending on what I decide to do. So thank you for joining me there, Phil.
Yeah, we had a good discussion. Absolutely.
Very good, yes. And always good, actually, when you join me for the episode where I succeed. So we have a good conversation.
I know, I've done that quite a few times, haven't I? Where
I think you have,
complete it, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So there we go, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed that particular challenge and hope you're all looking forward to more. In the meantime, we'll wrap up here. So Facebook and Twitter links down below, along with a link to my propagandist channel. And, of course, comment below, about your school trips and all that, ladies and gentlemen.
What did you viewers do as well for your school trips? Where did you go? Anything exciting? Or did you just go to very boring places?
Yes, indeed. Well, other than that, goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Clearly it didn't go well. Oh, jeez. Well, hello there. This is the laundry room, apparently. Yeah, we always seem to get fan service every so often, don't we? Katoa slightly crept into the laundry room. I can't speak all of a sudden. Oh right, we're getting all the fan service, it seems. To her chagrin, the captain and the doctor are already there, both with disappointed expressions. Oh, hey guys, what brings you here?
It's all your fault!
Okay, Sarah's just going straight for the B word, it would appear. You bit Erica stretched out an arm in warning.
What the hell?
Yeah, I was going to change this one. Yeah, Katoha, I saw the security video. We know what you did. Oops. It was just supposed to be a prank, you know. It wasn't supposed to be all that mushy. I just wanted to cover you guys in a dry flour, you know, like in those older prank videos.